Well, Aldrin, as you correctly pointed out, the press briefing is multi-pronged. You will know, of course, that Home Affairs will touch on the fact that they've now issued a convicted Facebook rapist and murderer Thabo Bester with an ID. This is because he didn't have one. His mother did not register him at birth. This is what he had also touched on in a previous media briefing, outlining why he did not have an identity document. But what we'll be watching very closely this morning is that we're also expecting Dr Motsoaledi to address us on, Aldrin, the urgent application that Dr Nandipha Magudumana filed in the High Court in Bloemfontein, which will be heard on Thursday, May the 25th. So Dr Nandipha Magudumana, you would know, was headed to court. That was breaking news a couple of days ago, and she wants her arrest and what she terms her abduction in Tanzania declared wrongful and unlawful. That matter, as I've indicated, will be heard on Thursday. That's May the 25th. Now, Alton, according to what we know and documents that we have seen, her lawyers will argue that Tanzania is a sovereign country and that the South African Police Service did not have the jurisdiction or authority to arrest anyone there. You'd also know that she said that she was abducted. That's according to the papers that we have seen. So according to Dr Nandipha Magudumana, she was blindfolded, we understand from those documents, and taken to the airport by members of the South African Police Service. So essentially, we're talking about a legal wrangle here. They will argue that the South African Police Service had no jurisdiction to arrest her there. If she was illegal, Aldrin, in that country, she should then have been allowed to leave. Then perhaps the South African authorities arrest her here on home soil. So some of her lawyers will say that on about the 6th of April, she was arrested and forcefully abducted. That's what we see in the papers, and told on the evening of the 12th of April that she was going home. Remember, that aircraft that was carrying her and her boyfriend, Thabo Bester, arrived at about 4 a.m. in South Africa. This was on the 13th of April. So you'll also know, Aldrin, worth noting, is that she indicated, I beg your pardon, the minister also indicated in that press release that you'll be touching on the revoking of a South African passport. Is it Dr Nandipha's passport that will be revoked? We'll certainly hear at 10 o'clock this morning. One of the other issues that we plan to raise also, you would know, Aldrin, is that the minister, remember, Dr Nandipha Magudumana in that country was found with 2 passports belonging to Dr Pashi, that's Mareke Pashi, and essentially when she was found with those documents, we'll also ask the minister about that issue. Remember, when Dr Nandipha Magudumana was arrested in Tanzania, she was found in possession of 2 of Dr Pashi's passports. So Dr Pashi has said she gave those passports to Dr Nandipha and TK Nkwana, who we now know is one of the many aliases that was used by Thabo Bester. She says because she thought that he was in the United States of America and that they would assist with her documents that she needed to do some work abroad. But Home Affairs basically questioned why she had allegedly first said one of her passports was stolen, and then at a later stage said she gave them to them because she wanted her documents in the United States sorted out. She subsequently then opened up a criminal case against both Bester and Dr Nandipha Magudumana of including fraud and forgery, and also basically threatened legal action against Dr Motsoaledi, saying that a press conference that he had held in April, he had made wrongful and defamatory statements, according to her, regarding her passports in Dr Magudumana's possession. So you'd also recall what then subsequently unfolded. Dr Pashi had then written a cease, desist and retract letter to the Home Affairs Minister wanting him to apologize. We know that that has not happened. Perhaps we'll also hear from the minister if he will be responding at all, or just allow her to go to court.
Yeah, and just a quick final one on Dr. Pashi again, is one of the issues that she raised in her claim was where exactly did the minister find this so-called affidavit that she had written at Home Affairs and denying the existence of such an affidavit?
That's right, Aldrin. That was contained in that cease, desist and retract letter that Dr. Pashe had written to the Home Affairs Minister, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, in that she questioned what he had said in that press conference, saying that she wants proof of the so-called affidavit that she had deposed, or letter indicating that there had been this affidavit which she had produced in order to then get this second passport. But, we've not gotten a response from Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi regarding that particular aspect. The last time my colleague Bali Tetani had spoken to the minister, he did not want to, of course, touch on that aspect, and basically said that, that matter seems like it's going to go to court. He's not going to touch on it. That is certainly something that we'll also raise with him here this morning, to see if he will indicate whether he plans to respond at all, or whether then, if Dr. Pashe decides then on the basis that the time frame that she had given him to respond or apologize for these so-called wrongful statements that had been made, and defamatory statements according to her, given that he has not responded from what we know, whether then they'll be proceeding with this court action. So we'll also certainly ask the minister pertaining to that aspect, Aldrin.